Hello, my name is Kelly from Kelly's Tutoring. Half term is finally here, and some of you are thinking, yes, a chance to relax, unwind, and have a break from routine. Others are worried, thinking, oh, this is a great time to play catch up. We missed out on quite a lot during term time, and so you want to just catch up on everything. Others are feeling guilty because you feel like you've not spent enough time with your children or your family because of juggling everything, so you want to make the most of creating some quality time together. And others are just feeling completely lost and overwhelmed at the prospect of having to try and entertain children, tweens and teens over a half-term lockdown again. Now, no matter how you're feeling or where you're at, know that it's going to be okay. This is an opportunity for you to wipe the slate clean, as it were. There's no point thinking about what you did or did not do, because it's not empowering. It's not going to allow you to move forward with what you want for yourself, your children, and your family. So instead, don't do that. You've been doing the best you can in the circumstances, and it's not too late. So that's the first thing I'd like you to try and recognize. So what are you going to do over the half-term holidays? Like I said, this is a fantastic opportunity to think about what it is you want to create and then start doing that. Now, some of you might be thinking, yes, this is the great opportunity. This is a great opportunity to form some healthy half-term habits. But the problem with that is, what does habits mean to you? For many, it has negative connotations because you're thinking of things of what you want to break, habits you want to break. For example, breaking the habit of spending too much time on a screen. So whether it be phone or computer or watching too much TV, breaking the habit of negative thinking and worrying, breaking the habit of eating too much junk food, breaking the habit of being a couch potato. And then you think, well, yeah, but I want to take up positive habits, or I want to make positive habits such as, exercising daily, reading every evening, going for walks as a family once a week. Now, they seem positive, but the problem is, because you have already got those negative ideas about habits, you're most likely going to break them. And it can be triggered by anything. So, for example, your environment, something you see on TV, something you hear, friends, relatives, anything. Your own feelings can get in the way. You might not feel like doing something. And so you break the habit, you feel guilty, and then what? You give up. So you might then think, well, actually, what about goal setting? I'll set some goals. But the problem with goals is it can be quite limiting. So, for example, let's say you have a child who wants to achieve 10 out of 10 in their spellings. That's their goal. So you tell them, okay, to achieve this, then you need to practice daily your spellings for your spelling test. And so they do that. They start developing this habit of practicing their spellings every day. The test comes and they don't get the grade that they want. They don't get 10 out of 10. They give up because they feel disheartened, because they feel like, well, actually, I've put into practice everything that was required and I still didn't get the desired outcome. So then what? Well, let's first of all think about what a habit actually is. Many believe that it's something that you just do, over and over again until it becomes habitual. And so it becomes almost like this automatic response. You do it without even thinking, you're on autopilot. But that's really disempowering because it means that you don't have any control over it, which is not strictly speaking true. And actually, if you look at the etymology of the word habit, it comes from Latin, meaning habitus. It comes from Latin habitus, which means an inner state or condition. And this word changed over time like other words do as well, as language does. And in Old French, it means something that you do consistently and you do it over time. And in Old English, it has that meaning of a consistent action over time. But it also means a garment that somebody from a religious sector, like a monk or a nun, wears. That to me is just so inspiring, because if you think about it, a habit is something that alters or moves your inner state or condition. So it's something that should make you feel good and motivated and encouraged, not guilty. It's something that is like a garment. You can try it on, you can experiment and play with it, and you can take it off if it no longer serves you. It allows for that, adaptation, and something that you consistently do over time means that it's something that you're conscious of, that you're aware of, something that you have control over. And it doesn't say that you're going to get it right and perfect all the time. It just means it's something that you're going to be doing consistently. So I'd like us to try and replace the word habit with commitment and dedication, because if you are committed to something, then even if things don't go as planned, you're still more inclined to honour your commitment and to take steps to try and figure out how you can achieve that, especially if you're dedicated, because that means that you're putting all of yourself into it. Which is why, again, I want to replace goals with measurements and milestones. Not that there's anything wrong with goals, but by having a goal is actually just something that you can use to measure the effectiveness of an action. And by doing that and combining that with your commitment and dedication, milestones and measurements, you can see what's working and what's not working. So if we look at the child who wants to get 10 out of 10 in their spellings and they're practicing every day, but they don't achieve their desired outcome, well, first of all, remind them of their commitment. What is their commitment? Their goal is to get 10 out of 10, but that's not their commitment. Why is that important to them? Well, if you look at it, it's important to them because of that sense of achievement they'll feel when they score, 100%. There's also the ability then to write with greater accuracy because they know how to spell a variety of words. They're also able to read better, with better fluency, because they know they're familiar with more words. So it's those reasons that it's important to them. So with that in mind, if they don't reach their desired outcome, rather than giving up, they can think, well, okay, what do I need to change then? Because I'm not getting that 10 out of 10. What is it that I need to do differently? Maybe it's the way in which I'm learning these words. Maybe I need to practice them in a different way. And once they achieve 10 out of 10, they're not going to just stop and say, well, I've achieved my goal. No, that's just a measurement. They're going to think, well, actually, what can I do now to further challenge me to achieve my commitment, which is to broaden my vocabulary and to widen my ability to recognize words. And that way then they're not going to give up so easily. In the same way for you, maybe you think, well, actually, I want to, have more reading time. So if you are committed and dedicated, look for things that you can do to facilitate that. So maybe when you wake up in the morning and you're preparing breakfast or you're having breakfast together as a family, maybe you might do some reading then. You might read some articles online, you might read a newspaper, you might take it in turns as a family to read like a play script, something to really bring it to life. But maybe you're not a family, maybe your family is not a morning bunch. So you might think, well, actually, why not just have an audiobook playing in the background? You're still picking up the characters' voices, you're still picking up vocabulary, plot twists. So it's still very, very useful. But maybe, as I say, mornings is not your thing. So then you might think, well, actually, whilst I'm preparing dinner, we can have this on in the background. It's something for us to discuss. Each of us can take it in turns choosing what we're going to listen to or what we're going to read. And then to help you to cultivate this even more, you can then have accountability. Now you can create this by maybe talking with friends and saying, okay, this is what we're doing. Maybe you would like to, be committed to this as well. You could start up like a book club together, and so then you can then discuss books that you've read or listened to. And again, it's not a way of making wrong, but thinking, well, actually, what it is that what got in the way from you achieving that. And they may have some ideas of what they do that you might not have thought of. And you can also have self accountability by maybe creating a chart or something that you can not just tick, but then you can visibly see. So it's great to have something that is visible. And again, it's not to make wrong, but so you can look at it and think, okay, this is what's working, this isn't working. Then you can reevaluate, actually, what am I actually committed to? And then reconfiguring if needs be. So this half term, forget about healthy habits. Instead, what is it that is truly important to you and your children? What do you want to be committed to? What do you want to dedicate the rest of the year to? Don't worry about goal setting, but how are you going to measure this? How are you going to have milestones so that you can celebrate your achievements? Or, still as great, figure out, well, actually, what do I need to do differently to achieve the desired outcome? Get an accountability partner, either for friends or family. Hold yourself accountable too. And if you want to find out a little bit more, please check out the blog. The blog post will have more details there. And also, leave some feedback in the comments. Let us know what you're committed to. It'd be great to find out. And if you have any questions, please just put them in the comment section, and I will reply to you. I was going to say someone will reply to you, meaning Local Mums, but I will reply to you. I'm sure someone from Local Mums will also reply to you as well. But I look forward to hearing your commitments over the half-term break, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.